Right, just skipped right over the grinding as we just paced over the same ground over and over again in Victory Road. Time for a stadium tournament or two. Right, so the only Pokemon that aren't allowed in this one are the two that it's completely impossible to gain before the Elite Four without cheat codes anyway. Not much of a rule there, and frankly, at this level, I don't think a small stat difference of 5 levels would be all that much of a game changer, though I could be wrong. It's hard to say when we're gonna have to deal with the Elite Four and Gary at the end of the game with a massive level disadvantage for us. But then it's probably a bad idea for me to judge battles in Stadium based on battles in the Game Boy game. Yeah, Garm evolved off-screen. Definitely feel guilty about that one, but I'm sure he's going to have some moments to shine in Stadium in the last segment of the Game Boy game now that he's all grown up. Not that this is gonna be his moment to shine. This first one looks like it's gonna be Neo's battle to dominate.
We're finally underway with Pokemon Tournament Pokecup Pokeball. We have a large contingent of Pokemon with a bewildering mix of moves.
Excuse me for not being all that intimidated by a Machop when we have an Alakazam right out of the gate.
First off, Spidey. Whoa! Looks like a bad Pokemon choice. Taken down on the World Go!
Not a surprise in the least. Guess I'm not all that surprised that the first round is essentially a gimme battle if you happen to have one specific type in your team. But I somehow doubt that's going to be the case for the entire tournament. We'll see when things start getting a bit more challenging for us.
How's that? No! This Pokemon looks wrong! Wow! Taken down with one hit! There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon. Oh, it's Mankey! The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided. Savage attack! Ground zero!
Right, someone get Neo a broom because he just swept these poor bastards. We're certainly off to a kind of encouraging start at the very least here. And if I haven't managed to somehow miscount, that means Neo now has 119 wins. Okay, that combo could be a little more troublesome than the last one. At the very least, we don't have a one Pokemon answer for them. And since we're only allowed to send out 3 for the whole battle, I don't think it really matters all that much that we have a far more diverse team overall. It's pretty likely they're gonna have 2 of one type and 1 of another, and I don't think they share a weakness. Unless, of course, the only grass type they send out is Bulbasaur, then Earthquake could clean them out.
Begin round 2. They strike fighting poses. Earthquake!
Right, so Oddish doesn't have the weakness to ground type since it hasn't gained poison just yet.
What will the trainer do now? A decent hit!
Yeah, Kawaku's taken the first one out of the fight at the very least. I just love hearing Nidoking make that roar in Stadium. It sounds so much more satisfying than what we generally hear in the Game Boy game. Though damn nice roars apparently don't make up for some bad luck.
There, it's a hit! Neither one is conceding an inch. How's that? Yeah, it's a
Right.
hit.
Took more damage than I needed to there, but it's not like I could have actually done anything differently.
The next Pokemon is being prepped. Oh, it's Voltorb.
Oh, Earthquake is going to do a lot more damage to this guy.
This is a fight between
Really?
two
Make
different
it lost
types of
ground
Pokemon.
just as we use a ground move? I know, not especially funny, but still.
Oh, looks like a bad Pokemon choice. Wow, taken down with one hit.
We're going to be hearing that
There's
a lot in
difference
this clip and the
number
next
of
one,
reserve
aren't we?
Pokemon. Oh, it's Bellsprout.
I'm a little tempted to
The
ask
remaining
why the
Pokemon
Bellsprout
count is
didn't come out
3-1.
instead of the Voltorb, since this
battle
guy
has
had to know
become
we had
one-sided.
Earthquake before that ball came out on the field.
Savage attack. Harsh blow.
Ah, because apparently Kohaku using Earthquake would have been enough to get the job done, even if it isn't super effective against a pure grass type. That's 2 full sweeps for us so far, bringing Kohaku's personal score up to 129. Okay, while there are 2 fighting types and a ghost type there, that's still a decent amount of variety in that team. Certainly more variety than we saw in the other 2 rounds. And the Machoke is the first we've seen that's been an evolved Pokemon. Kind of wish we were the opponents right from the first round, but I do like how it's escalating.
The upcoming battles look promising. We're into round 3.
And we're starting it off with 2 Psychics going at one another. I think I'll stick with Tri-Attack since, well, this is kind of Psychic versus Psychic clash, is precisely why I gave Neo that move.
Here's the first move. A decent hit. Hypnosis. Oh no.
Right. Probably shouldn't be surprised that a Drowsy has a move that can put others to sleep, and unfortunately, we can't just play a flute to wake Neo up, though thankfully, pure luck on our side prevented that from doing all that much damage. Hell, we're the only one who has caused any damage so far. But I've got to admit, I somehow thought that Tri-Attack would do more, simply because it's a move with only 10 shots in it.
What's that? Good hit. What's this? It fell asleep again.
Well, so long as he wakes up fast again, it shouldn't be too painful, but then it's not as likely Neo will sleep until knocked out. Though I've got to say, video games are the only place that would make some kind of distinction between being unconscious and being asleep. Especially when both states are things that can be inflicted on us.
It woke up.
Yeah.
What now?
The whole Hypnosis and Dream Eater strategy just doesn't look like a strong one to me, though maybe it's just that I had the perfect counter for that. Kind of looking forward to when Generation 2 will give the Spiderweb of weaknesses and strengths some more anti-psychic options than essentially another psychic.
What's this? It didn't work. The heated battle rages on.
Can you really call it heated when one side is absolutely obsessed with putting us to sleep? Anyway, that does it for the first one. Next opponent, please.
The next Pokemon is being prepped. Oh, it's Geodude!
Yeah, that's certainly not gonna resist psychic moves at all.
Difference affects battle. What'll it do? What the weak?
Looks like Neo's getting another sweep.
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
I know he's not trying to sound insulting with that line, but every time I hear it, I can't help thinking it's kind of a taunt to the loser. Though it's certainly a sad bit of being one-sided when they pull out a ghost like what should be super effective against Psychic, but it's actually weak due to some rather critical errors when they were designing the first generation. Sorry, Ghastly, it's a real shame the game designers made that error in the first gen that you were introduced in. Right, that's 3 rounds in about 11 minutes. Can I beat this tournament in a single clip, or will I have to split this recording and merge it with something else to avoid this clip getting too long? Well, this one looks like it's going to be an easy sweep for Phyllis, and it probably says something that I hope I'm wrong here.
This is round 4.
Oh, good God. Even just the size mismatch makes me feel sorry for that poor Cubone. I don't do these kinds of battles to feel sorry for our opponents, but unfortunately, all too often that is the result. At least in Stadium, it's more likely for us to run into trainers that'll give us a run for our money, even if that's not always what ends up happening.
Oh, it's Rhyhorn!
Well, at least the size difference isn't that much of a mismatch here, but still a type advantage to Phyllis, and that's all that matters.
There it goes! Whoa! Looks like a bad Pokemon choice.
Poor bastard didn't have any good choices since we had a grass type to send out.
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon. Oh, it's Kabuto!
Really wish I had more motivation to use fossil Pokemon, and sadly enough, I think that the first generation is the only one that gives us fossil Pokemon to work with. And that does it. Another battle done in the tournament. Assuming I didn't miscount, that means Phyllis has 138.5 wins so far, halfway through the tournament. Will the next match give us the worthy opponent I'm looking for? Right, 3 poisons, so Neo's probably gonna be our front runner again. But then, with how the type chart is for the first generation, it's never a bad idea to lead with your Psychic, because there is no real counter for them, like any of the other types. Not really sure how the Butterfree would hold up against Neo, though. Part of me just can't help feeling that I'm underestimating bug types, especially since you don't really see that many bugs after the point when bug catchers stop being a common trainer type for you to run into.
We're in the last half of the tournament. Things will get white hot. Begin round 5.
Right, I just had to think of the bug showing up first.
They strike fighting poses. Here's the first move. A decent hit.
And now I can't help wondering if it would have been a better idea for me to just use Psychic, if only because Neo might have had enough power to make it worthwhile despite the resistance.
In this battle. What now? There, it's a hit. Oh, toxic!
Well, that just means we're gonna have to finish this battle in a hurry. Of course, most of the battles outside the early ones in this LP, where we were using Leech Seed to edge things out, lasted such a short amount of time that moves like Toxic just don't seem to have all that much appeal. It's more of an annoyance after the battle than something that determines things during it.
There's a big difference in HP. First off, Psychic. Boom!
If nothing else, this tournament has been extending the gap between Neo and Garn's scores. If anything, I'm surprised Neo didn't have a much higher score simply because he's a pretty solid answer for so many different types that I was expecting him to be the absolute top scorer on the team.
There's the attack. Severe hit.
Really getting the feeling that this entire tournament is just one big gimme for the next one being meant to actually test you and your team.
Reserve Pokemon. Oh, it's Zubat.
Well, at least the first two Pokemon this poor girl sent out weren't absolutely doomed against any psychics.
How's that? Perfect game.
And that does it for the poor Zubat and this battle. Still somehow feel more interested watching the Pokemon Stadium battles, though, than what we were seeing in the baseline game, even if things are pretty one-sided here. Kinda makes me wish that there was some way to watch all the battles in the Game Boy game with Stadium's graphics. It should be technically possible, since the Game Boy game outright links to the N64 so you can use your team on a different console. Anyway, it looks like this team has the best type variety we've seen so far, though the fact that all of them are first form Pokemon makes it hard to feel intimidated considering all of our Pokemon are as big as they can grow.
Field is thinning out. We're into round 6.
Oh, now that's quite a nice meal for Taki to start off with. Hope Calm doesn't mind that we just referred to one of his cousins as a meal for Takanabori.
Right, that's serve. Mighty close to the word go. Taken down on the word go.
That has happened so often in this tournament that again, I kind of feel guilty for making all the competition look like idiots. You'd think the fact that this is the level 50 tournament would mean it would be more intense than the lower level tournaments we went through before now, but no. Apparently they designed this game expecting people would do this tournament first, and the earlier tournaments were meant to be things people did later with teams specifically built to be amazing in said tournaments. Whereas I'm more of a casual tournament goer than someone who devotes himself to victory. Someone who knows just enough to be devastating to anyone who's an outright rookie or still a beginner, but has absolutely no chance against anyone outright serious. And let me tell you, I'm very familiar with that feeling considering how I handle myself online with games like StarCraft and Street Fighter.
That's a miss. Neither one is conceding an inch. What'll it do? Good hit. What now? There, it's a hit.
I'm sorry, but the fact that something that small tried to use strength is just adorable. Hell, I can't help feeling it doesn't make sense for the water tortoise to use that kind of move until he's gotten all the way up to Blastoise. Though maybe I'm just more biased towards the larger, more menacing Pokemon than the cute ones. It's fairly easy to say that, considering how both Red and Blue team looked when we got our full teams fully evolved.
Sandshrew. The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided.
The entire battle was one-sided, just like all the others we've gone through in this tournament so far. I was really hoping this far into the tournament we'd start facing some opponents closer to my skill level, but apparently that's not going to be the case. Look, I'm not asking to get my ass kicked or to steamroll opponent after opponent. I'd prefer to face opponents who are reasonably close to the point that it feels like it could go either way. It's just annoyingly difficult to get to that happy medium. Probably part of the reason I am generally more interested in war-related games. It's easier to get over the fact that there are a lot of easily taken down foes since you are more focused on the battle as a whole, rather than each individual opponent you face. Though I do still occasionally end up wishing for more worthy opponents to run into. It's just that Pokemon has so many more one-on-one encounters that it's hard not to wish for more foes worth remembering.
This is it, the semifinals! No one wants to lose having come this far.
Well, I somehow doubt we're going to lose to an Abra.
Now,
Though, I've got to admit, the nickname Abrenza actually
Here's the
does
first
look
move.
pretty nice.
major death.
Okay, more damage than I was expecting, but then somehow I thought Marbleback would be able to attack before an Abra. Again, really wish that we had some more information given to us and readily available while in these battles.
Oh, it's executed.
Well, hopefully he doesn't know too many press-type moves.
They strike fighting poses. What now? The attack wasn't effective.
Okay, not even halfway. Apparently cracking the ground underneath it isn't a great way to crack
Both
these
Pokemon
eggs.
appear equally fit.
Phyllis would have been the best Pokemon to switch to in order to tank a Solar Beam, but unfortunately we're only allowed 3 in these tournament rounds, and I didn't think he should be in the lineup for this battle. Still, credit where it's due, this is the first opponent in this tournament that made me worried for at least a moment.
Will this Pokemon swap change the flow of battle? Flame! Perfect game!
Right,
Oh, is
now
it
what's
down
your
and out?
final Pokemon for this round?
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon. Oh, it's Slowpoke!
I probably should have sent
remaining
Phyllis
Pokemon
into this
count
battle.
is 3
Still,
to 1.
we have all the
battle
tools
has
we need to
become
win here.
one-sided. They go into battle poses. What's this? What's the weak spot?
Possibly should have switched to Takanabori.
That one hurt. This
Okay,
battle
how
is
the hell
going
did Carm
to
survive taking a
battle
super effective critical hit? I'm not complaining, but I really deserve to have a knocked out member of the team since I was stubborn enough to try delivering that bite there. Hell, part of me was tempted to send out another bite just because we're so close to taking down that Slowpoke after the first bite. But I kind of panicked there since I somehow didn't think me being complacent would get Garm that close to being knocked out in a single strike.
What now? A decent hit. What's next? The special stat is down.
Well,
Fireworks are
this
flying
Psychic
in
Focus
battle.
trainer in this tournament certainly gave us the hardest time so far in it. Maybe that means whoever we're facing in the finals will be just the right amount of difficult to be especially fun compared to most other trainers we've dealt with in this LP.
And there goes the battle.
Are you kidding me? The old man somehow managed to make it to the finals with a Ditto on his team? Sure, it's not that he's had to use all 6 of his Pokemon, but still, he's essentially got just 5 members on his team and an empty slot.
This is it. The
It's actually
final
kind of funny
battle.
that if I was writing a story, then a Ditto would be a very
championship.
dangerous opponent to have to deal with, since it can transform into literally any Pokemon with any moveset. But in the battles and the games, its best use is as an excuse for the Pokemon Stadium games to have so many rentals, and otherwise is far less impressive than advertised.
The savage hit. Taken down on the word go. We might be in for a one-sided affair.
Yeah, Neo's certainly been
Oh,
carrying
it's
us through this tournament with ease.
How will the type difference affect battle? There's the attack. Severe hit.
Was expecting that to be another one-hit win, but I'm still pretty confident Neo's gonna carry us to the end of this tournament. He may not be the highest scoring member of the team as a whole, but he's certainly the highest scoring for this clip, that's for sure.
What now? A decent hit. First off, sliding. There, it's a hit. Oh!
Solid idea to try paralyzing Neo, but unfortunately the poor bastard is down to one Pokemon, and Neo, while weakened, isn't out of the fight yet.
Oh, it's Porygon!
Okay, little worried that his last is another Psychic, but we still got this final battle in the bag.
The battle has become one-sided.
Apparently it's gonna be us trading Tri-Attacks.
What's this? Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay, so his Tri-Attack does more damage than ours, and Neo is already pretty damn worn down. Sorry, Neo, but I had the feeling if we did a switch there, that the old man might actually get a chance to have a comeback. Call it a day, buddy, you did damn well.
Pokemon D.
Part of me was tempted to send Garm out just for the sake of giving him another mark on his scorecard, but again, the numbers are already so high that it's hard to see any of the currently active team as anything other than badasses in their own right. Though I've got no clue why I used Ice Beam right there.
That's a good hit. What'll it do? A decent hit. The crowd's excitement is building over this hot battle.
Then I guess we'll cool them down to finish things up here.
There, it's a hit.
And that does it. We've won the tournament and managed to get a team score of 888. Next time, we go through another tournament and see if I can take on stiffer competition. Sure, it feels nice to win all 8 rounds of this one, but so many of those rounds felt like outright gimmies that it didn't really feed to that hunger for challenge this close to the end of our journey.